Yo, check it. Hey, yo, fam, what up? We are looking at AMC GME, SPY, Bitcoin, and much, much more. In this video, we're going to be looking at the technicals and fundamentals that you need to know as a trader investor, breaking it down level by level, move by move, so you can understand what is happening and look at what's going to be happening into the future using the charts, facts, and data. But let's not waste any more time and hop in. Let's go. Hey, yo, what is up? You are back for another video with DataZero. Let's go ahead and hop in and show you what's going on for AMC on a day-to-day basis. You already know what it is. Daily outlook and prediction. We're going to be diving right in. Let's go. So I first want to talk about AMC and GME and what is popping off. So GameStop. If you were on my live stream, you would have seen me stressing about GameStop today as we were slipping down to our last point of support, that 2044 level. If we would have lost that, we would have seen GameStop start to slip to the downside rapidly. But GameStop was, our side was oversold, and we got a bounce back to the upside, forming a possible, okay, this is the possible start of a potential double bottom here for GME stock. You can see that we have this long drop down, this bounce, and then we have another bounce forming at the tip of this massive macro pennant. This is absolutely huge, and this could send GameStop flying to the upside if we can break above the key levels of 2123. If we can break above that key level of 2123, then we could see a nice pop to the upside here for GME stock. So that's what we're looking for, and we want to see GME start to move to the upside. Now, the immediate level that we need to break above and confirm as support is 2090, and that's what I'm going to be looking for tomorrow on stream and during the day. Does GameStop break and hold 2090? If it does, it could definitely move towards that key level of 2123, confirming this double bottom, and that could start to send GME flying to the upside. Now, if you looked at my weekly outlook and prediction, I showed you how GME's call options chain is absolutely stacked. If we go ahead and look at the options chain here for GME on the expiration date of the 25th, you can see that it's absolutely stacked with call options as open interest is exploded. You can see here open interest by strike, it's absolutely exploded, and you can see it's massively outweighed with calls, and the put to call ratio is bullish here for GME stock. So we could get a gamma rep if we start to move up towards those higher levels of like $20.50, or I'm sorry, I apologize, $21.50, $21.50, and of course get above those key levels of 2123 and 2180. That's on the higher upper end. So if we start to see this double bottom form, this is going to be very, very exciting. If we start to see GME start to break out of this pennant, this is going to be very, very exciting. What we're looking for is a confirmation of support from this upper sloping support and resistance. If we see that, GME is going to confirm a big move to the upside, and we're going to be watching for that on the live stream. AMC also has something very, very interesting as well. As you can see, AMC starting to break out of this overall sloping support and resistance. So we had a beautiful retest, which I had talked about earlier in stream, where we have broken out. We have retested it once. You can see this sloping support and resistance right here. I'm talking about this one right here, so you can see it just so it's clear. Then we bounce off of it again, and get a nice spring to the upside. Now, we do have this gap down to the downside, and it is a relevant gap all the way up to the 4-hour time frame. You can see that it's a gap relevant up to the 4-hour time frame. We do have this gap, but right now we are seemingly moving to the upside, and we have this beautiful retest. So it looks like AMC might be ready to move to the upside, and the gap could get filled later, but it is going to be down there and will get filled. 99.9% of the time gaps get filled, and that's what we see on the charts, as you don't see charts filled with a bunch of gaps. So this is what we're looking at. Do have that gap to the downside to be worried about, but right now it looks like momentum to the upside as we have green MACD on the 2-hour time frame. And if I pop on the alligator, you can see that we're starting to get momentum to the upside as well as we make the retest and bounce back. And we are starting to see a breakout of this overall channel, and this means that this overall downtrend that we have seen is over. $4 is the bottom, and we're going to see upside for AMC, and that means it's time to go up for AME. So I think AME is about to see upside. I think GameStop's about to see upside, and this is going to be good for both of the meme stocks. And if they can get momentum, they can play off of each other, and we could start to put pressure on the shorts. Now, as far as fundamental data is concerned, we have 12.39 days to cover here for AMC stock, which is absolutely crazy. That means if shorts were to cover today, it would take 12.39 days to cover that short position. 12 days of absolute pumpage. AMC sitting on a nasty 17% short interest right now. So if you were to see a short squeeze, it would actually be decent. Okay, so with that much short interest, you cannot deny that a short squeeze could be possible, and with that many days to cover, it would be a nasty short squeeze. So don't just dismiss that a short squeeze is not possible. Okay, if liquidity gets in the right settings, if the market gets in the right settings, it is absolutely possible. Now you can see they have 1.6 million shares available to short. They were absolutely dumping here this morning on AMC and GME heavily. AMC started with 2.2 million, dumped down to about 1.6 here by the end of the day. So they were dumping heavily. GameStop, same thing, 2.1 down to about 1.6, and that's what they currently have as of right now. 1.5 on GME as of time of recording. At time of recording, 1.6 for AMC, and that is the most up to date. That could change as early as tomorrow morning. Now, as far as cost to borrow, 1.56% here for AMC. So that's looking good as cost to borrow is remaining stable. As far as GME is concerned, we can see cost to borrow is sitting at 0.37%. So this is what we're looking at for AMC and GME. I want to see cost of borrow go up for GME. Of course, AMC as well. Cost of borrow is directly relevant to liquidity and price here on the meme stocks. It's something to look for. And then it's relevant to short squeezes as well. AMC short interest looking nice. GME sitting on 19.33% short interest, but at 9.93 days to cover. So that's what we're looking at for the meme stocks. Let's go ahead and move into a SPY and then move into crypto and then wrap up this video. So SPY in this massive rising wedge, which we have charted out here. I think SPY, and I talked about this on the live stream, is going to make one more push to the upside to about 588, 589, and then start to pull back out of this channel and top. Now, I know that's a crazy thing to say, but I think the market is actually getting ready to top, okay? I know it's a crazy thing to say. You can believe whatever you want. That's why the market's great. You can have your own opinion, and I will be proved wrong here in time or right here in time. So I think the market's actually getting ready to see a nasty pullback, at least a correction, and we'll see how deep that correction goes, and then we'll chart that as it goes. But we're definitely about to see a correction breakdown out of this rising wedge. I think we're about to have one more pop to the upside, euphoric rally, and then that's going to be it, topping around 588, 589, possibly 590, but I'm more stuck on 589 specifically, in my personal opinion. I'm just some guy on the internet. Please do your own research and due diligence before buying any stock or crypto asset. Now, I think what we're going to see here for SPY is possibly a move towards the upside tomorrow, as it confirmed 581 as support at today. It's going to come up and try to test 585.17. If you see a break above and holding 585.17, SPY is absolutely going to pump. What we're looking for is a break above that level if you are bullish on SPY. I think we will break above that level. Is it going to be this week or next week? I do not know. It looks like we're setting up for a move to the upside here on SPY. I believe that it will be the final move to reach that price target that I just gave you earlier in the video. And then that will be when SPY starts to pull back, and we will start to see an overall market correction. You can see that NASDAQ has been tracking here on the macro for quite some time with my prediction. I showed this, and then I found this rising wedge and actually drew the rising wedge over top of this, and it is still tracking with the rising wedge. We will see if NASDAQ does start to pull back. NASDAQ is in a rising wedge. We will see, as a possible double top could come into play as well if it does break down another rising wedge, and that would lead to a nasty technical move for it downside. So we're going to be watching this very, very closely. We're going to see if NASDAQ follows through with this rising wedge and prediction and start to move to the downside, which would take the overall market with it. If we look at key assets like NVIDIA, they're pushing to all-time highs. I think NVIDIA is going to push up a little bit higher and then have a overall pullback as well, and that is going to be the end of this for NVIDIA as well, as NVIDIA will start to have a correction taking the overall market with it. And this is what I'm looking at based off of my technicals. If you look at what's going on with SPY, it's absolutely disturbing. Some of the technicals we have as monthly RSI is completely overbought. And if you look at the weekly RSI, we have crazy bearish divergence as RSI is trending lower and lower and lower, and price is trending higher and higher and higher. Again, I gave you guys the example with Bitcoin when it had a 50% correction, when everyone thought it was going to go to the moon, when it went from 3,000 all the way up to about 64 to 65K, and then had a correction all the way down to about 28,000. About a 50 to 58% correction. It had bearish divergence on the chart. So again, bearish divergence in the weekly time frame is nothing to ignore. We also have decreasing volume as well. So this is what I'm looking at. I think we're actually going to see a nasty correction here for SPY, and you're starting to see people give out crazy warnings. I reported about this as well. As Goldman is giving out crazy forecasts. And again, I mentioned some of these technicals as with the monthly RSI and then the weekly bearish divergence as well. So these are all things that we need to be looking at as technicals and fundamentals are coming into play. It's absolutely going crazy what's going on in the Middle East, and of course in the proxy war with Ukraine. Things are absolutely going, it's just going bonkers. We could talk about that more on the live stream, and I'll dive deeper into that, but this is what I'm looking at for SPY in the overall stock market. Now, as far as Bitcoin is concerned, Bitcoin is still above green weekly MACD and above the bull flag. You can see that we have daily confirmation of basically being above the bull flag. I think Bitcoin is getting ready to set up for a potential breakout to the upside. So I think Bitcoin is actually getting ready to set up for this move as it continues to confirm the bull flag. If we see Bitcoin stay above the key level of 67,200, you're going to see a nice move to the upside. And if we see Bitcoin get above 69.2K and 72,000, that is going to be confirmation that it has indeed broken out of the bull flag, and it is probably going to continue to the upside towards 80,000 or maybe possibly 100K. So Bitcoin has been in a massive accumulation range. I think it's getting ready to break out. Weekly MACD is flipping. This could take time because this is in the macro, but we are confirming it here on the weekly and daily time frame as support, which will lead us to a nice move to the upside. So that's what I'm looking at for Bitcoin. This is your daily outlook and prediction. I think altcoins will make a nice move once BTC does make this move to the upside. Altcoins are already starting to wake up. And the crypto market is starting to wake up. You can see coins like Ape going crazy, Doge starting to pick up. So altcoins are starting to pick up. Once Bitcoin makes this move, it's going to get that euphoria into the market, and things are going to get really crazy for BTC and the altcoin. So again, cryptocurrency, I think, is one of the better markets. And I tend to lean towards it more than stocks. I don't think people really know that. But that's just my personal opinion. So this is your daily outlook and prediction. If you found a video informative, go ahead and drop a like, press subscribe for more content like this. If you watch to the end of this, thank you, man, because so few people watching the end. And as always, y'all, have fun, stay safe, make money. Peace. All right, that's the video. If you found it informative, go ahead and drop a like, press subscribe for more content like this. Remember, you can check me out on Twitter and Discord for even more DataZero updates. And I appreciate you if you watch to the end, because again, so few people watch to the end. And as always, y'all, have fun, stay safe, make money. Peace.